In a recent article by Today Singapore, it has been reported that there is a jump in Singaporeans aged 40 to 59 seeking loans to cope with cost of living pressures. The share of loan applications by middle-aged Singaporeans 40 to 59 jumped nearly a third over the past 2 years. The report found that the most common reasons for borrowing are associated with living costs and debts, such as recurring bills, debt consolidation, and credit cards. Now the question is this going to be a more and more common phenomenon among Singaporeans, especially this age group between 40 to 59, to borrow more money to get into further debts in order to keep up with rising cost of living? In today's video, let's zoom in into this age group, the sandwich generation, on how they can cope with the rising cost of living that's triggered by inflation and the latest measures by the government based on the National Day rally just a week ago, and as well as what you can do, especially people in this age group, to counter and to combat all this rising cost of living. Before I continue, just a short introduction about this channel. I'm John, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple. I'm Singaporean. My wife Fran is from Penang, Malaysia. Together, we have been financially independent since 2020, and we endeavor to cover topics about financial literacy, breaking out the rat race, and about financial independence. Come join us on this journey and learn and grow together, and we'll certainly appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe, and join our YouTube family. Back to the Today Singapore article, it says that over the past 2 years, a sharply higher proportion of middle-aged people have sought loans to deal with cost of living pressures such as household spending, medical expenses, and credit card debt. The share of loan applicants from the middle-aged population has risen as much as 28% in the last 2 years. The average loan size for this group was 22,000 Sing dollars. This group accounts for about 1/3 of loan applicants today. Young borrowers, on the other hand, aged 18 to 29, account for over a quarter of applications to date, though their share of applicants fell as much as 25% since 2022. Indeed, as this article is suggesting, the age group of 40 to 59 seems to be having trouble keeping up with the rising cost of living. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the sandwich generation, which means they are both coping with their kids' costs as well as aging parents who may or may not need their help financially as well. You are looking at managing kids' expenses, including their education, tuition, and all the other related costs, their mortgage loans, their housing loans and expenses, car loans for those who own cars, helper costs for those who have helpers, and also supporting parents in terms of supplementing either in the form of allowance or paying for their basic needs. The Today article goes on to say that this suggests a growing need for help with managing large expenses and debts among Singaporeans amid a cost crunch. In today's highly challenging and highly volatile business and job environment in the world and in Singapore as well, where layoffs and retrenchments are prevalent, would this group of people especially be looking at external help like the government in order to cope with the rising cost of living? In this recent Channel News Asia article, which covered on takeaways from the recent National Day rally just 1 week ago, it says one of the key takeaways is for the involuntary unemployed that will get up to 6,000 Sing dollars over a period of up to 6 months, provided they go for training, career coaching, and job matching services. This is a Singapore government initiative to provide financial support for retrenched workers. If you have been observing and following what the Singapore government has been doing for this particular age group, the sandwich generation, for the past few years, you'll notice that a lot of emphasis have been placed on reskilling, on upskilling, and helping with career changes with these guys in terms of training credits or financial support. And of course, the government has also provided other means of financial support to cope with the rising cost of living, especially during the pandemic period, in other forms of packages and schemes such as the GST and CDC vouchers. Well, it's good that the Singapore government has all these handouts and financial support for its citizens. But remember this, ultimately, a support system is merely a support system. Who is in the driving seat? Who is the one that has to solve all these financial challenges and problems at its root cause? It's you. You have to be the one driving the initiative, taking the lead, and ultimately solving all these problems. If you would like to have an easier time to solve your financial problems and challenges in life, I cannot stress this enough. You have to raise your level of financial literacy. Be on the offense and take initiative to learn. Don't stay passive and allow the world events to take down your defense. And you know what, guys? That involves taking risks. Yes, that's right. To me, in terms of risk management, the worst thing a person can do is to stay on the sidelines and continue staying ignorant, or people who pretend they know everything when in fact they don't know anything at all. We must take risks to learn. It is the willingness that's important. The willingness to start at the beginning, to begin something new, and not just because you have certain success in certain areas. In one of our previous videos, we gave a great example of highly paid employees who can't afford to retire. Well, if they are in the bracket of not wanting to learn something different or learn something new, especially in areas of financial literacy, that is the reason why they cannot afford to keep their lifestyle and make their money grow hard for them, and therefore cannot retire early or retire comfortably. Because ultimately, a highly paid rat in a rat race is still a rat. It doesn't matter whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 60s. It's never too late to learn. What you want to do is to take the plunge and to gain different skills and level up your skill levels by taking continuous action. All these stopgap measures to alleviate your rising cost of living by taking loans and taking in more debt is not going to help you. In fact, they will get you on a downward spiral that gets harder and harder for you to get out of. For those of you who are holding several debts currently or in a bad debt situation, I have two suggested methods for you to clear them. The first one is called the avalanche method, and the second one is called the snowball method. Now, this is for you to research on yourself. I'm not going to cover that in detail here. If you'd like me to cover a video on that, put in the comments that below, then I can cover it more in detail in another video. Fran and I are very passionate about raising awareness around financial literacy topics because we believe that financial literacy is the key to freedom. Once you mastered money and are on top of your finances, I believe your life will change tremendously. Just like for us, our life has improved tremendously ever since we embarked on our financial freedom journey since 2016. Now, just to be clear, we are not advocating material wealth. We are not advocating chasing after money for the purpose of chasing after shiny, extravagant lifestyle. Instead, what we're saying is get your money handled, have your finances out of the picture, right? With as little attention as possible so that you have maximum time and maximum energy to design the kind of life that you would like to. Come and join us on our free financial literacy classes, which we conduct a few times a month on topics such as personal finance, on financial independence, and breaking out of the rat race. Click on the link below to join our mailing list so that we can send you details of our upcoming Zoom webinars. I hope this video has given you a new perspective about approaching your finances. I'm John, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple, signing off. Do hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and join our YouTube channel. See you in the next video.